though. So, a little introduction of who we are, Michael and I. My name is Kaiser. Michael, say hi.
Michael.
That's him. What we do is we go over the list of the IMDb top 250 and we want to go back to these classics and know why they're so great and really know if they are a good watch today as well. And we just saw this movie and we really want to discuss how it's like and if it's still a good movie though.
Yeah,
But
and to discuss, see if it's overrated, underrated, see what you guys think about it as well. Just give our opinion in our unbiased.
and
Let's
what
try
we
to be unbiased as we can, as much as we can.
Yeah, and what we don't want to do is give away the movie because the excitement of the movie is watching it yourself. But what we can do is prep you to see what you're walking into and decide, hey, maybe I'll watch it, maybe not. But let's just start it
That's
with
right. No spoilers.
no spoilers. Yeah, we don't want to ruin this experience for you. We've already got that experience. Michael, how many times have you seen this movie?
I've seen this one three. This is my third time watching.
Okay, and I saw it the second time. Was it
Okay.
a different experience watching it again?
Um, I think you pick up on some minor details here and there, but generally it was pretty much the same experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right though. The minor details is very, and I think that's one of the main things why I like this movie. I'm not sure what's Michael's opinion of the movie is though. I do agree that the movie is very slow. Like, I think it's the style when they're in the 1970s and whenever they're trying to make like a movie, I feel like they're so impressed by their spaceships because, by the way, if the cover doesn't give it away of the movie, they are in space. So this is not a spoiler. Like that's the first thing you'll see. But back to what I was trying to get at, they're so impressed at what they've done that they really want to show us what the spaceship looks like. Wow, like this is who we are in the future, guys. Aren't you excited? You know?
Yeah, I liked the movie. I thought it was well done, and it's also from my favorite director. Funny enough, or sorry, not my favorite director, but one of the directors that made one of my favorite films, Gladiator, Ridley Scott. I liked it,
Mm.
and I know it's a 1979 movie, so it's it was kind of a pathway to a lot of these types of films, kind of like the Space Odyssey and stuff. There were some things that annoyed me, but I think that was purposely made in there and done for to purposely annoy me. So,
Yeah,
um,
they knew that you would be watching this, so they're like, yeah, that Michael guy, screw that guy. Put that in there. But sir, this doesn't go with the plot. Just put that in there. But yo, I totally agree with you because there are some annoyances in the movie, but overall, for me, I'm very big on how would I react if I was in that scenario. So I'll give a little background what the plot is about. It's basically a team set out in space, and they have a responsibility to act. Their role is responsibility is essentially to, I believe, they're like the tow trucks of the space. And forgive me if I'm wrong here, though, but that's what I kind of understood. And they've been assigned a special mission and their journey to Earth has been rerouted to a different destination. They don't know what they're going for, they don't know what they are, but they have to be there. And what makes this movie great is that you're dealing with your typical like horror movie style. Like everything that you can imagine from a horror movie, that's there. But why I like this movie is because of how well they showed the reactions of the people. I think there's a huge focus on the people in the movie, though. What do you think about that, Michael? What was your take on it?
yeah, I agree. I think they did a good job in giving a sense of relation to having to relate with the characters. It is a slow build up, but I think it's necessary as well because it creates more suspenseful moments. And when it's a horror movie, then it's all about the suspense and the scares. So I kind of that was the thing I was saying that I didn't really like. It was a little slow, but I fully understand why they had to do it, and it makes total sense for them to do it like that. Um, and yeah, you can relate to the characters pretty quick. You enjoy it throughout the whole movie, but not just that, the visuals was also something that really impressed me for the time, like 1979. It was pretty well done. I would say the spacecraft and the aliens, they were pretty much like a staple for movies going forward.
They did definitely set a tone, and that movie actually has one of the most iconic scenes ever. You'll see it and you'll know it. It's been it's I think everyone who knows movies knows it, or it's been recreated somehow somewhere. But I was gonna touch upon the scariness of the movie. Do you think there was any jump scares in this movie or no?
I think yes. I mean,
There were.
I didn't experience it. I mean, we were watching at home, but if you're watching in the theater and it's a different setting, there would definitely be jump scares, I think.
Okay, so that is a fair warning, though. I didn't feel it, but perhaps, yeah, and you're right. In the theater, if one person gets scared and everybody gets scared, right? Because you react to their reaction.
Yeah, and it depends on the
Um,
person too, right? It's hard to really say like you're gonna get jump scared or because it depends on people get scared really easily and people don't get scared at all. So it just depends. Personally, I didn't get jump scared.
yeah, I agree. And what I don't want to ruin this movie though, but I want to say that what makes this movie great, like the moments that you do have of what's quote unquote scary is there's not really much focus on the threat, the scariness of the alien, which is the movie's about, but it's on the people who are around that alien or who are living around it or within it, knowing that they're scared. Because I often feel like when you kind of want to give like a tease, but not the whole thing. Because if the whole thing is given away, then it's not as enticing. But as long as you just kind of get a bit of a taste and you keep it away, then it just creates a lot more like curiosity. And I think that's what made the movie more um how do I put it though? It's more memorable because you're not really outwardly expressing the scariness. Like, hey, that's scary. Like, you decide what's scary for you and what's not. Do you feel like that
Hmm.
too, Mike, or no?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Um, but it wasn't anything too scary. Like it was just more suspense than scary, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
yeah, to go, I think did you touch on the characters? Like to touch back on the characters, the the things I was saying that were kind of annoying me during the film. There was a lot of character choices that kind of pissed me off, that I didn't agree with. But uh, that could have been done purposely just to piss me off. Just I personally, in their position, would have probably done some different choices. But I mean, that's pretty normal when you're watching a movie. You can't relate to everything, but um, they did a good job in pissing the viewer off. I think they were going for that. I'm gonna say they were going for that, and they did a really good job doing it.
yeah, I think that to in today's time, you'll have people who are controversial just for the sake of being controversial. Like they want to get that, oh my God, can you believe he just did that? Just to get that like attention. I'm assuming they purposely want you to be like, oh my God, what are you doing? Are you stupid? Like they want you to get your camera because they want you to be invested, right?
Yeah,
But so there's like what, six characters in this movie, each with their own individual personality that they bring
I
to the table.
think it was 7. It was 7.
I'm counting. Yeah, seven people. Sorry, eight if you count a cat. Um, and I think if you watch, so we've seen this movie. So you've seen it three times. I've seen it two times though, and we've touched on the characters, and all we are kind of mentioning is like, look, what you expect from a scary movie, uh, scary creature, people dying, yeah, you know what to expect from it though. But I think if you was to make this movie great and why it's so memorable, focus on the characters. There's seven of them. Each of them come out with their own personalities and who they are, and that's who the cameras kind of focus around though. It's not really what's going on and what this plot is. It's the plot is there. What are the people saying? How are they reacting to it? And how well do they sell us the fact that they're really scared or they really don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah, and um, yeah. Who was your favorite character? Do you have a favorite character?
Michael, don't tempt me. Michael
I know
knows,
you
man.
do. I know you
Michael
do.
knows the
So just
answer.
go out and say it.
Michael knows the answer. There's a character, Parker. I think that he embodies someone who is clocking at 9, clocking at 5. I don't care. I don't know you after work perfectly. Like this man is the embodiment of like everything that you would expect from like a crew member who who just like, bro, I just want to do my work and go home, right? And like, but the thing is though, also the
And pay up
embodiment
and get your check.
and get your check, right? Like I just want to get
Can't
my
forget
money and
that
go.
because he mentioned it plenty of times that he was just trying to get paid and go home.
And like his whole like demeanor of like just being very like in your face, like like he's just not afraid to be controversial. Sorry, not sorry, confrontational. Sorry, he's not afraid to be confrontational. He doesn't care who he's talking to. He'll just be like, yeah, like I mean, am I getting paid or what? And it's a very realistic characters because I personally have come across people like that who are just like they don't care about you, they don't care about that. They just want to do their work and go home. Like they don't. It's so when I saw that, I'm like, okay, yo, amazing that
Reminds me
you.
of a guy. It reminds me of a guy I know. It's just
Your brother, right? Uh, no, no.
I don't know.
Are you my brother too? You're like, no. No, I was gonna say that back yeah, so Parker was a great character and why I also like the why I mention him as a great character is because I feel that when like the pressure hits you, you are a it's not that you become a different person. The issue becomes is that um what like you just become a more extreme version of yourself, right? Like
Yeah.
so you see that like his response and I you see in the movie the whole movie you see is that who they were before the incident, the climax, and who they are after the climax, right? It's like some people break apart, some people just like okay, I'll step up. It's a responsibility. What's required is required and I'll do it.
Oh,
Some
for sure.
people and some people just don't change and that's very ironic and that's I think that's a huge giveaway when you watch it that um a normal human being wouldn't react like that. And I don't want to say too much, but you'll know when you watch the movie.
But different situations, yeah, they altered their actions and reacted going forward. But it was he was like the funniest character to watch, and he started off as like a funny dude, and then to the end he was just pissed off and wanted to get this shit over with and kind of take care of business. But um, it was my favorite character as well because he was the funniest. So I think I like whoever's funnier.
And, yeah, and I think it's just that I feel like you need to have in a movie that someone can like
Because it's
someone
a
can
horror
look at him.
film, right? It's a horror, so I mean, you got plenty of time to be scared, but the funny moments, it's still it's a lot enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's like you need someone that you can look in the screen and be like, right? You just like kind of look at them like, yeah, I know, right? So I think he kind of offers that. But I feel like there's a strong theme of we are talking about characters, what it's like human and human compassion, like or sorry, what it takes to be a human being and your responsibility. And there's several scenes like that. For instance, there's a scene of though, uh, should would you follow protocol, or would you look at the need of a human being? There's a scene which is like important to the movie. That's so it's
Yeah,
like
I would say
it's
that's a
about
turning point. That's a turning point of the movie.
And then there's also like if you see a creature that could potentially live, would you like sacrifice it or like
Yeah.
would you care about yourself or would you
So
think about that creature that's there too?
it touches
Uh
on moral values and gives you choices to make. So that's why I was saying that, I didn't agree with all the choices, but I mean, they did it purposely just to just to make it more dramatic and bring the story forward. But
yeah, it kind of separated humans from the non-humans in there. Like it's just like one of those that's what I how I viewed it because it was I think that's generally what they were trying to achieve there. But I may be wrong, but this is what I picked up though.
yeah, and the visuals alone was I loved just how the picture looked and how it was directed, the way it was told. I enjoyed watching that. That was nice to see. Um, what
You want
else?
to talk? You want to talk about some of the scenes that you didn't like? Because I know you were complaining about some of the scenes, though.
Um,
I know
just
we
trying to
touched on the.
think. Talking about scenes without really spoiling.
You did
Mm,
mention though. Why are they being separated now?
which
It's
one?
like a.
Oh,
You mentioned like why are they being
oh,
separated? It's a
yeah.
trademark for
So
every
there
scary
was,
movie. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a trademark, and they split it up into groups, and then it was two groups. They split into two groups, and then there's one group who splits into another group, and but it's normal. You got to kind of separate them individual for the horror to attack. So I mean, that's normal. There's no point in even talking about it.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
like it, but like that's just me being dumb.
so let me ask you this though. Let's get to the main point though. Uh, you think that this is still a good watch? This movie in today's time and everything?
I think it's a good watch. I do, and it's got a let's see, 8.4 rating on IMDb. I think it's a good watch. It's rated number 52 on the list. I'm gonna say though that it's a little bit overrated. This genre of horror and like Alien, I'm not that big of a fan. I'm not like a fanatic over it, so I enjoyed it. It was a good movie, but I'm gonna say it's a little bit overrated. I'd give this one like an 8. I'd say it's just a little bit overrated, but overall, it was like a good movie.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good things in the movie though, but I don't think I can sit through the whole movie though. It's just that it's too slow to get to the main point. There's some exciting points that you like. There's some like conversations in there that you like, but overall, I think it's just that it's like we've seen it all. We've seen a lot of these kind of horrors and everything. I do think that they told the story very well. Like how how they drove to the climax and how they brought it to the end. I think that was very well done. There were some very good scenes, like very iconic scenes that you've never seen before, like and how people respond and how people react to things. But other than that, I think one time watching it is enough. The second time was kind of like we see the things that we didn't see before, but after
Yeah,
that, we're just like, oh, okay, I get it. Get to the point. I just want to see that, right?
but it definitely holds up today. I mean, it's a 40-year-old movie, and you wouldn't even it still is a good watch and will remain a good watch for many many years. Like it's gonna hold up for a while for sure. It'll be up there.
Yeah, and that's a very good point though, because the thing is though, the main thing is can you watch it today? And this is us assuming that we've seen a lot of it, and now we've probably seen like a s- like a small like someone who's kind of like took inspiration from it and converted into like a recent movie though. But is it still viable? I think so too. I think so too. Like it's definitely a good watch though. There's some of the dialogues are amazing. Like not dialogues in per se, but the conversations are amazing. People's reactions are amazing. And I think that's why it's a good movie because I know it has its moments, but overall though, you kind of understand where they're all coming from and why they are reacting the way they are.
Yeah, like I said, like when you watch it for the first time, it's then it's a great watch. But rewatching it after, I think it's takes a little bit away. You know what's gonna happen and all that stuff. As is when it's a horror film.
I,
But
I and I'm gonna say this though, and the thing is, we've kind of given our answer. So one time watch is a good watch, but second time, third time is overkill. But I think if you are gonna watch this movie, which I think you should, just watch facial expressions, and that would kind of lead you towards why this is so important in the movie. Just see how people react to things. There are things gonna happen. You just see their faces. And I think those their facial expressions give away a lot of like not ruin the movie, but it kind of sets kind of like it prepares you well for the end of the movie. If that makes sense.
and it also won an Oscar for best effects and best visual effects. So there you go.
Yeah. So that's not only the visuals, but we're also talking about human effects, like how humans reacted to that. So that's definitely a plus though, because I think that was well done.
Hmm.
Some scenes I think could have been better. Like for instance, like if I was to touch something, my initial reaction would be like, ugh. They didn't have that. So, okay, you'll know what I'm talking about when you watch the movie. But
I
there's like
get that
two,
reaction too, actually, sometimes when I
two.
touch you.
Oh yeah. Um, that's not what you told me last night. But that's a topic for another.
Okay.
That's a that's a topic of off
Uh,
the like the behind the scenes shoot. That's the topic for that day. But I think we're done here. We've given our point. We've told you why you should watch it. We've also told you that how many times you should watch it and what to look out for when you watch the movie. And it still holds up today. Anything you want to add, Michael?
nope, that's pretty much it. The next episode will be Aliens, which is the sequel to this one, and we'll see you guys there.
Awesome. Would love to talk about how they carried it the same story forward. That's all.
Peace.
Take care.